Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. As part of my network penetration testing and ethical hacking course, in today's video, I'm going to show you how to change a MAC address. Firstly, you're going to learn the meaning of MAC address, what MAC address is used for, and how you can change a MAC address. Okay, so what is a MAC address? A MAC address is a media access control. It is a permanent, physical, and unique address that is assigned by all manufacturers. Once a device is manufactured and that device can have access to the internet, a manufacturer gives that device a unique MAC address that can be used to identify that device. As part of the OSI model, it is classified as a physical address, and IP address is classified as a logical address. So if you have a network card or an internet card, each of that devices come with a unique MAC address by the manufacturer. There is no devices that will have the same MAC address. Even if you unplug your wireless card and connect it to another computer, the MAC address will always remain the same. I think you should know the difference between an IP address and a MAC address. An IP address is used to identify a device over the network, while a MAC address is used to transfer data between devices. The sender will always have a source MAC address and the receiver will be the destination MAC address. Every data or packet that is sent over the network have a source MAC address and a destination MAC address. A source MAC address is basically the device that is sending that data or that packet, and the destination MAC address is that device that will be receiving that data or that packet. So after knowing what a MAC address is, why should you change your MAC address, or why an attacker change their MAC address? 1. Increase anonymity. Since a MAC address can be used to transfer data between devices, changing a MAC address will make it anonymous, because the sender, which is the source MAC address, will not be able to identify that it is your device that that data is being transferred to. Secondly, it will impersonate other devices, allowing them to send packets to you. It is going to help you to bypass filter. It is known that most networks have a filter or an allow list and deny list that allow a specific or certain MAC address to connect to that network. So if you are not on the allow list, you will not be able to connect to that network, or if you are on a deny list, you will not be able to connect to that network. So changing your MAC address will allow you to connect to that network that your original MAC address is not allowed to connect to. So this is how the transfer of packets is being done over the network. Every data or packet that is being transferred over the network will have a source MAC address and a destination MAC address. So in my past video, I show how a network works and how data is being transmitted over the network. So let's take, for example, this client is sending a data to this router. So this client MAC address will be classified as the source MAC address, and this router MAC address will be classified as the destination MAC address before reaching the internet. So by changing your MAC address to this access point MAC address, so you'll be able to get the data that is being sent to this access point, because your MAC address will be classified as the destination MAC address, and you will be able to receive the data. Okay, let's get into the practical. Let me show you how you can configure your wireless interface and change your MAC address. Firstly, I'm going to open my terminal, and I'm going to run a command called rfconfig. This command is going to list all my network interface. So if you are using Windows, you can use the rpconfig instead of the rfconfig. So basically, this is all of the network devices that is connected to this computer. So whether it is a virtual network, if it is a wireless network, using this command, you'll be able to see all of the network interfaces that is connected to your device. I'm using Linux system, so my command will be different from your command. If you are using Windows, you can use the rpconfig instead of the rfconfig. So this is my virtual network, which is Ethernet 0, which MAC address is this. And this is my loopback address. Basically, it's my default address. And this is my wireless network, which is my wireless local area network, and it's identified as DebiLAN 0. And this is my IP address, my current IP address, because I'm connected to the internet. And this is my MAC address, which is Ether. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be focusing only on how to change this MAC address. So in order to change the MAC address of any interface, you firstly need to disable that interface. So by using rfconfig, and specify the interface, which is Debian 0. And down. So this is the command that is used to shut down a wireless interface before changing its MAC address. So we'll be using a Debian 0 interface, which is this interface. So by running this command, you press enter. So as you can see, the command runs successfully without error. So which means we have disabled this interface successfully. So the second step and the second command we are going to use is rfconfig. The interface name, and specify that it is a hardware interface. So by using the HW, ETH, and give your MAC address that you wish to change this current MAC address with. But know that this new MAC address that you are going to give this device should always start with 00. So for this video, I'm going to use 00, 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55, and hit enter. So as you can see, there is no error, which means my interface MAC address has been changed successfully. So after running this command, which is rfconfig, to specify all of the interfaces that is connected to the network, and you give a specific interface, which is Debian 0, my wireless local area network 0, and the hardware, which is HW, and I specify that it is an Ethernet device. And lastly, my new MAC address that I want to change this device MAC address with. So this is my new MAC address. So lastly, after changing it, as you remember, we disabled the device. So we need to enable the device back to check if our MAC address has been changed successfully. By doing this, you run the same command, rfconfig, Debian 0, up. So instead of down that will disable the device, we are using the opposite command, which is up, and hit enter. Our command has run successfully, which means our interface is now back up. So by checking if our MAC address has been changed successfully, we need to run the rfconfig command to see all of our interface and its MAC addresses. So I will firstly clear my command line by using the clear command, and I'll run again the rfconfig command to see if my MAC address has been changed successfully. As you can see, our MAC address is successfully changed to 00, 11, 22, 33, 44, and 55. So we have successfully changed our MAC address. This is very cool and is used by most hacker and attacker, because this allows them to change their MAC address to different devices to receive packets and data. So the hacker will be able to do many cool stuff more than even receiving packets. And an attacker can also use this method to carry on a malicious act. They can hack into computers, and if a forensic team come around to do some investigation by checking the MAC address and IP address, they will notice that the MAC address does not exist, or the specific MAC address and IP address does not exist, and it is a fake MAC address. So there's many cool stuff an hacker can do by changing this MAC address. So instead of an hacker using its original MAC address that can be used to identify a device over the internet that data is being transferred to and from, an hacker will change their MAC address and become anonymous. So once you notice that you are sending a data or packets to a specific MAC address and not knowing that that is an hacker MAC address, and a hacker can also change their MAC address when carrying on an attack to bypass filter, because most networks, as I said earlier, have allow list and deny list. This allow list and deny list are filter and security measures that most bigger organizations and institutions put in place to allow certain MAC address to connect to their network and certain MAC address to not connect to their network. So by the hacker changing their MAC address, it will allow them to spoofly connect to that network that their original MAC address is not allowed to connect to. Bear in mind that once you restart your computer, this MAC address is going to change back to its original MAC address, because you are only changing this MAC address in memory. You are not changing it physically. and it can only be changed temporarily, not permanently. So once you change this MAC address and your computer restart or your computer power off, know that the MAC address is going to revert back to its original MAC address, because a MAC address is a physical address, and this address, as we changing it, we are changing it in memory and we are not changing it physically. So thanks for watching. Please don't forget to like and subscribe. Hit the notification button to get notified whenever I upload a new video.